Hi, I'm just about a minute early. I'm checking my sound. Last week we had a bad echo. So if you are here and can hear me, can you let me know how the sound is now? Come on in. Love for you to say hello and let me know how the sound is. Last week there was a pretty bad echo. Okay. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, great. Hi, Pam. Okay, good. Good. It's probably good then. Let's see. Let me get over here with you. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Again, I'm live instead of on Thursdays as usual. I'm live on Wednesday. I have my brother coming to visit tomorrow, so I wanted to go ahead and do this live today. And let's see, next week it may be on Wednesday as well, but it will be posted hopefully on Monday when the live will be. So it'll either be Wednesday or Thursday of next week as well. Okay. All right. So glad that you're here with me today. I am excited to share this project with you. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Um, Okay, so I had one of my customers contact me about making a Christmas card for someone that was going through a difficult time. And, what kind of card she didn't want to not acknowledge the holiday season, but at the same time, uh, Merry Christmas, Jingle Bells, Deck the Halls, none of that seemed appropriate. And it could be for any reason. Life, we have struggles in life, and we may have lost someone recently, or be going through an illness, or just going through a tough time. And sometimes we need something other than what a jolly or happy Christmas would be, even though we want to share the sentiment of the season, which is peace, hope, and love. Okay. So I really got to thinking after I got that question from the customer that I have several people, several friends and family members that get cards from me that need that type of card. And so I started thinking and looking through my stamp sets, and then looking at my list about what I was going to share and what I was going to order, what was upcoming, and trying to plan out. And then I came across the Shepherd's Care stamp set in the mini catalog. And I had seen that, and it was on my list. Here it is on page, let me get where you can see this better. So it's on page 56 of the mini catalog, and it has the shepherd with the sheep, the Star of Bethlehem, and then some really pretty sentiments. One that you could use anytime. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, from Psalm 147. And then this one just was like, I thought, just hit the nail on the head, praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the coming year. And then, of course, we have the Prince of Peace, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father. And I saw that and I thought, this is perfect. And so when I went to order this set, it wasn't available. So it came back available, and I believe it's still available now. And so I would like to suggest to you that if you need something like this, or you don't have something like this in your stamp collection, this would be an excellent stamp set to add to it. And I've shared a card on my blog earlier this week, I think it was Monday, that had this sentiment on it. And then we're making this card today, and I have another video that is going to go live on YouTube later this week using this stamp set. And I just think it's perfect. So let's get started, okay? I, you know, wanted to make something special, and so I've got this card here that we're going to be making today. It's an easel card. Okay, we've made some like this before, so I thought it'd be really pretty to display. And I just put simply peace on earth there, and then that sentiment on the inside about feeling the Good Shepherd's care. And I decided to keep it monochromatic, and so let's get started. Okay. All right, so thank you for watching. Thank you if you are enjoying the video. I appreciate it if you like it, share it. It's really helpful to me, and I really appreciate it. So let me get my pieces here. I decided to go with basic beige and gold. And so I have my pieces cut here. So I'm just going to go over those to start with, and I will post this on my blog. I think it's going up on Friday on inkandinspirations.com. So I have our watercolor paper cut 3.5 by 4 3/4. We're going to be working with that first. And then I have some basic beige cut 1/2 by 3 1/4 for the sentiment, 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. I'm going to stamp the shepherd on here, and then I'm going to fussy cut him out. This is for the inside for the stamped sentiment. And then this is just my outer layer on the outside of the card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. And we're just going to layer that up very simply. I'm going to keep my card where I can see it. And then I used our gold foil. So this piece is this layer here, okay? And it's 3 3/4 by 5, but to get the most use out of this gold foil, I cut some shapes that I use all the time, and that's going to be behind the watercolor paper. Okay, so you'll never know that it's missing, but you save on your paper like that and still get that pretty gold border around the edge. Okay, so that was 3 3/4 by 5, and then this goes with the sentiment 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's get started here. I am going to go ahead and do the watercoloring. So this is just a simple watercolor wash background. And I've got two colors here, crumb cake and copper clay. And I'm going to open up my crumb cake first here, okay? And I have some re-inker that I just squirted some in the center there. And this one, I don't have a ink refill, but I put a little bit there. It's like as a paint palette. All right, and so I'm going to open that up to get some varying shades of my little sand dunes here that we're going to have. So I'm going to get something to protect from my work surface here. Oh yes, hey Debbie, hey Linda, I love this set, Linda. I just love it. Okay, so again, I forgot what this measurement was, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And this is the background for our shepherd, okay? So I'm going to take my water painter, and I've got an old rag that I use to clean my brush in between colors, okay? And I'm just going to start by squeezing a little water down in here and picking up some of this crumb cake ink, okay? And then what I'd start doing here is and I'm sure most of you have done this technique before, and if you haven't, this is one of the easiest watercolor techniques that you can do, and it makes you feel like an artist, okay? Which we are artists because we create, right? But this, where you can take the colors and just spread them out and get that beautiful watercolor wash background, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I just kind of go back and forth not straight across, because once it starts drying, you start seeing the little the lines of dimension of your little sand dunes, so to speak. And so I just don't put too much color to start with. You can always go back and add. Let's see, I want to do this. I'm going to come up here and add another little dune. And then I might want to add a variation of color in a minute. That's why I have this, although that looks a little red. I may try pecan pie instead. On this first one, I used crumb cake on this sample, okay? But I had a little bit of, what was there? It was a different color. It might have been a early espresso or something that had a little bit of red base to it. And so it kind of made it really, really cool. You see the little red and peach. I may have even used something like Calypso Coral. I forget what I had created with it, but it really, really was pretty. So I thought, well, I'm going to try on my video, my live, I'm going to try the copper clay. And now that I look at it, I don't know that it might be a little too red. Okay, I'm picking up some more here and just painting. And so I know that I want to like come up a little high so I can have my holy city there, okay, Bethlehem, and then come down a little lower this way where, you know, it looks like it's elevated there. I just thought that would make it look like it was farther in the distance if it was at a different height. Okay, let me keep going here. I may try some of this. I may get brave. So I'm not going to clean my brush because I want that little bit of crumb cake on there. Let's see how this goes. Oh, it's so light. I think it's going to do what I want it to do. Yeah, I like it. You see how it's adding that little bit of variation in color? So don't be afraid to mix your colors. You know, you can experiment with it, and you can see my paper, because it's getting wet, it kind of buckles a little bit. That's okay. It's supposed to do that. I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the height here where I want this to go. So let's see. I'm going to go about like that. Not go any higher than that. So I'm going to come over here like this. I'm going to get some more of this copper clay because I'm liking how that looks. Okay. Okay, I'm going to brush off and pick up some more of this. Yeah, I like that. See, I got a little bit more ink on that, so I'm getting the dark look. And you know, this is so relaxing. You can just kind of play with it and go with it. And if I were making several of these cards, I would do all of this at one time and get these ready. Okay. That's just easier, and it gives it a chance to dry. I have one ready that's dry, so I can use that for today's card. But I wanted to get this one and show you the process here. Okay, I'm trying to get some dark crumb cake in here just to add some dimension to it. See there? Okay, I think I'm about done with this. And I do like how the copper clay did with this crumb cake. Okay, so I'm going to leave this. And if you want to get this done, Narisa, it would be relaxing. No stress. No stress. Oh, yeah. Oh, you would love it. Once you start, it's like, you know, it's not an exact science. It's like artsy, you know. So Norisa. Somehow that doesn't surprise me though. Um, so anyway, but what I was going to say is that you can take your heat tool and dry it, you know, but I'm just going to let this one dry on its own, and then you can heat, like I'm kind of straightening it out and letting it dry. But like when, if I were to take my heat tool and, go over the top, I would dry the back too, and it kind of evens it out for you. Okay. And then when you adhere it down, the glue will make it stick. So, Nerissa, I need to get you to try this next time I'm in town and just let you go to town with it because there's no exact to it. Okay. All right. I don't think I need my copper clay anymore, so I'm going to move that aside, and I'm going to close this. No, I'm going to leave this one open for now. So what I'm going to do here is what you can do after you've done this is pat it dry. Okay, so you don't have water going onto your ink pad there. I'm just leaving that little bit there in case I want to do another project later. All right, let's see. Where's my dry? Here's my dry one. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to leave that because this is the way, the process you would use. No, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I'm going to go ahead and do it since it's dry. But you really don't want to stamp on this until it's absolutely dry. Okay, so you would like go on to a different part of your project, maybe stamp the shepherd, cut him out, and then go back to this. So I'm going to get my little city here, Bethlehem. Okay, and then open up my crumb cake again. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper so I can test this baby out. I don't want to make it too dark. So let's see. My crumb cake probably needs some more ink, but I didn't want to re-ink it before this. I kind of like how that looks. Okay. So that's going to go right here. And rather than have it floating in the sky, I'm going to come down onto the painted sand there. Okay. So let's do that. Come here. I'm going to go for it. Okay. That's pretty good. I got a little bit of ghosting there because I got ink around the edge. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of blend it in with my water painter. So I should have checked my stamp before I stamped it. And then I could have cleaned off around that edge. Does anybody else ever do that? And then sometimes, if you might have to redo. But since this is watercoloring, I can just kind of blend that in. Okay. And then it'll be fine. All right. So then I want this little Star of Bethlehem. There's a big one in the stamp set, and then this small one, which is perfect for over the city in the distance. And so I'm going to put, I need to check. Yeah, Debbie, you all the time. Yeah, I do too. It makes me mad. Okay, how am I going to do this? Let me test it. Tap lightly so you don't get that ghosting, and it's still. Okay, I'm going to go for it here. I need to stand up. My shadow is getting in my way, so I'm going to get right there. Pretty good. We're going to call that okay. All right. And then you have these scattered stars. All right. And so we're going to take those and scatter them like in the sky, just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to ink it up, not too enthusiastically, so I don't get all that around the edge. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp again. And I decided to stay just with the crumb cake on this. Okay. So here we go. Oh, got a little bit right there. I'm bad about wiping it with my fingers too. And then the ink gets on my fingers. What in the world, Lisa? Stamp off. And then I'm going to come up here. Okay, I like that. Ink up. Stamp off. And then let's see how I want to do this. You can turn this stamp. I don't want too much like that. It can overlap a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come get some right here in the corner. Okay, one more time. And then let's, oh, got some there. All right, those are a little dark, but that's okay. I think I forgot to stamp off. I do that sometimes when I start talking. Okay, now let me kind of wipe these off just a bit, put them aside, and now we're going to work. This is done, this part. Now let's work on our shepherd. So I've got that basic beige, 4 1/4 by 2 1/2, and I'm going to stamp him in crumb cake, just like everything else. So I had my sister, my nephew, and sister-in-laws leave this morning. They were with us for a few days. We had some rainy weather, but we had a lot of fun. And I have my brother coming tomorrow. Okay, so now I just cut it big enough for the stamp, okay? And then I'm going to take this. Ink that up, and there it is. Isn't that pretty? So it's one of our distinctive stamps that has the shading in there. So you can do it. I've done it in all kinds of colors, okay? So now we're going to cut this out and just kind of go around and try, you know, to get as close as I can without cutting on the line of the stamp, the image. And when you cut, you turn your paper and then just slice down with your paper snips. Okay, turn. Cut that excess off. It's easier to work with it like that. That little lamb's so cute. I really thought, yeah, remember that set? I know a lot of you might have it. Forget what the name of it was, with the whole city that we could die cut last year. I still have that too. Couldn't part with that. I really thought that would still be available for purchase, but it's not. But this one was like, oh, this one, we needed this stamp set. Okay, I'm just kind of going around the bottom here. And there we have that. Okay, I like it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put this on here. See how pretty that is? I love it. Okay, so we're going to put this, pop him up with dimensionals, okay? So let me turn this over. Let's see. Trying to use up these sheets that are almost done before I start a new one. Okay, and then on this, you know, you can cut this and use these edges Okay, so I'm going to put him about like there. Yeah, I like it. I like being able to see some of this underneath his feet. Hi, Carol. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, Debbie, you don't have this one? Yeah, it's, I love it. And I like that on that one sentiment that you can use it like for sympathy cards, the one from Psalm. Let's see, what is it? Psalm 147, about he heals the brokenhearted. Okay. Put this right here. And then we're going to add a little bit of bling light later, but I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to, while I have my ink pad open, I'm going to go ahead and stamp what I need to. Okay, so let's put this aside and get this part for the inside. It's 4x4. And then I have this beautiful sentiment here that I'm going to stamp. Oh, yes. Okay, so ink this up. Make sure I don't have it around the edge. I'm going to line it up on that line. Put it about right there. Looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the city and the star again on this one. You don't have to. I just thought it was pretty to add it on the inside as well. I didn't leave a lot of room for my star, so it's probably going to go off the paper a little bit, which is fine. No, it's just right. Okay. Let's see. And that's going to go there. We're not going to put that together yet. Oh, yes, Carol, I did. It was very easy with crumb cake ink and a water painter. All right. For this, I'm writing, writing Peace on Earth on this one. Close my stamp set too soon. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to stamp it in the center. Pretty good. All right, and then that's going to go over top of this gold strip, 3/4 by 3.5. This one was 1/2 by 3.25. Okay, let me go ahead and glue that down and give me drying. And I'm going to let this dry just a bit while we start assembling. Oop, almost got that too far. Center that top to bottom, side to side. Okay, let's set that aside with our other inner piece. I think I can close my ink pad now. Okay, let's see what's next. What did I do with my, here's Shepherd, here he is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and here I had this piece 3 3/4 by 5, cut some out of the middle so I can save for another project. And that is going to be the layer behind the shepherd. Okay, so let me go ahead and put some. Well, hi, Kathy from Pennsylvania. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Oh, me too, Kathy. That's what we're just talking about, how it's just beautiful and the sentiments are like, yeah, spot on for anyone, but especially for someone that might be having a difficult time. Hey, Lori, how are you? Okay, let's put this on. Okay, so I'm going to hold that a minute You know, it takes a minute on the gold foil because it's kind of slick. So I'm going to hold that just a minute. Yes, Kathy. That's what we were just saying, especially like with this right here. Yep. Perfect. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to get my, see, I can go ahead and get my card. Oh, I forgot to score my base, y'all. Okay. Can't have an easel score. Okay, scored at 5.5, and then I forgot to put the score. Okay. I forgot to write it down. Okay, so let me get it. Get my trimmer over here. And this is scored at, I'm measuring over here, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Oh, 2.25. That's right. I think that's what I did. Is it 2.25? Yeah. Yep, 2.25. So I've got so many pieces to this card, but oh, it's going to be so special. So we got to score at 2.25, score at 5.5, and then 2.25. So here we have this. So go at 2.25, give it a score. Hey, Susan, thank you. Okay, get all the things back over here. So now what we're going to do is just pull this back, give it a good crease with the bone folder, okay, and that's going to make our easel. So what we do here is we're going to take our shepherd and our 4 by 5.25 piece, and we're going to glue that on top of that one, okay. Okay, we can glue this down. And that covers up our little pieces that we cut out of the back, right? Okay. And then when you glue it to your easel, you only want to glue to this part, okay? So you come up about 1/8 of an inch, okay, from this bottom and the two sides. So you're just centering it here. And then you leave a little bit at the bottom, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue in here. Because if I put it on the shepherd piece, I might get it where it's not supposed to be. Okay, Lisa, come on. Here I am. I told y'all I was trying to finish off these glue bottles. Okay, now we're going to take this guy, put him here. The liquid glue lets you wiggle it around a little bit. Get it centered. Okay, so see? And then it just folds down and lays on that card front. Okay. All right, let's go to the inside down. We have our piece with our sentiment. Oh, and I got some ink here. So we're going to fix that somehow. Let me think. Y'all know what I'm going to do. Sponge that baby a little bit. Should I do that? Let me see. I need to find a sponge dauber that I can dedicate to the crumb cake. I'll get it out in a minute. Spit it out, Lisa. And I don't know that I have one. Here's one. Brand new one. Okay. Okay. I think I'm just going to go along the top a little bit. It's like a little happy accident. There we go. Okay, now we're going to glue this in. Sorry, y'all, I know you hate to see me shake down my glue, but it's like, I gotta finish this. I have umpteen bottles of glue that are like almost out. Anybody else? I mean, it's like, come on, use the whole bottle. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Okay, and so that's there. There's room to sign your name there. And then our little piece on earth is going to be the bumper. Okay, so you could, I've seen people put dimensionals behind it, but you really don't need to. Okay, so I want it to be about like that. Let's see. But I want this to look nice too. So I'm going to open that up and I want it about there. So let's do that. And it'll be there when you open up the card, and then it can be, the card can be displayed, right? Look pretty, huh? Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to go about right there. Bring it over just a little bit. Eyeballing it there. Oh, Lisa. It's like I go to lift my hand up and it wiggles the. There, let's see. Ta-da! See? I love that. I love that easel card. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now what I did for a little bit of bling, just a little bit of bling. Let's see if I can, I'm going to move my camera there. Here it is. I've got my dark crumb cake Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to color some little, well, that just kind of moved around. These smaller rhinestones here. Okay. And I take one of them and I'm putting it in the center of this star. Okay. Then I'm going to open it. Thank you, Pam and Lori. This, and I'm going to go just to each side of Peace on Earth. Okay. And there you have it. Okay, they look a lot alike, but you see the, let me see what this is looking like. Okay, look, see how it's drying and you can really see the copper clay in there. So it's pretty red. Okay, so once it dried, it's like it's showing its true colors there. This one had a, whatever, I had a little bit in there, but it's still okay. You know, I may go back over this. You'll see that it's got that copper clay right there. I might go back over that with a little more crumb cake, but I think it would be fine, really. Just gave it a little hint of color, don't you think? So yeah, this is a special card, I think, to send to someone that could use some sweet sentiments for the holiday season. So Again, this is a Shepherd's Care stamp set. It's kind of like you've got to really read it. Like I talked to a friend of mine. Thank you, Carol. I talked to a friend of mine that said, she loved the Shepherd. She goes, I didn't even read those. And I said, oh, that's the draw. These sentiments are awesome for Christmas and like, who was it? Carol? Was it you saying that? Yeah, Kathy said she saw a sympathy card made with this, and so beautiful. And I'm thinking with this, do it on a strip. Let's see how wide that is. Measure this baby. So I'm going so it's less than an inch. So you could cut an inch strip. Let's see. It would even fit. I'm measuring the height of this. So you could go about 3/4 or 7/8 inch wide strip there. And our papers that have the scenes like Thoughtful Journey and the Splendid Autumn with those beautiful scenes, take that, this sentiment, bam, you've got a beautiful sympathy card, right? Don't y'all think? I do. I think it's awesome. Okay. All right. I hope you are sold on this set. I'm telling you, it is like a gem. It's like a hidden gem. You've got to really read it. And I've said this before. Sometimes when I get a stamp set, it's the images I like, but I read those sentiments and it's like, bam, I've got to have it. So anyway, this one is just fits the bill and what you might need. So I hope you've enjoyed this card. Let me see if I can see it again. Let me see. Why is it not? Oh, exit. Here we go. Okay. So anyway, just a beautiful set, beautiful sentiments. Doesn't take, let me see if I can find my card. The other one I made. I mean, the sentiments are like just gorgeous. Okay, so here's the one I did. If you saw my blog or you're on my Facebook, you saw this one with the Prince of Peace. Okay, and then this one you'll see Friday. I'll give you a sneak peek. See, I did it in blues. Okay, all right. Hey, Janet, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I will see you hopefully next week. If you're wanting this set, get it while it's available. I haven't even checked. Sorry, I should have checked, but if it's available, you need to get it. Okay. And I'll see you next week, probably on Wednesday. I'm thinking it's going to be on Wednesday because we're leaving to go to Texas, to Fort Worth on, I think, Thursday at the latest, Friday. So anyway, but I'll put it up on the page on YouTube and on Facebook so you'll know when to look for it. If you're not on my email list, you need to be on there because I post it in there too, and you get more ideas with different cards. Okay. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If I can help you with anything, let me know. I'm Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.